Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm very excited to tell you that I am starting Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. This is technically the first book in the Throne of Glass series, but my second book in terms of the reading order that I'm going with. This is the second part of the little vlog series that I'm making, which does mean that there are going to be spoilers in this video. So if you haven't read this book or you haven't read The Assassin's Blade, maybe don't watch this video. Again, in the comments, let's preface our comments if there's going to be spoilers, let people know, and then don't spoil the rest of the series for me because I really am excited about this and I don't want to get it ruined. But yeah, it is the old cover and I had the new cover for Assassin's Blade. I got this a long time ago. I got this and Crown of Midnight a long time ago, so I have the old covers for those books, but the rest of the books will be new covers, but it's fine. It's fine. It's not that big of a deal. It won't bug me every time I look at my bookshelf. No, not at all. That's it. I'm not gonna get much reading done right now. I do have to clean my whole apartment, just kind of do like a little reset. So that'll take a while, but after I do all that, then I'll start reading this book and we'll dive in. I'm so excited. That's kind of funny. I was like gonna do this whole thing where I showed you that I was like, starting Throne of Glass. I was gonna click the currently reading on Goodreads, and lo and behold, I knew I had read this before, but I didn't remember when. 2017, can you see that? Isn't that crazy? It's been 8-ish years since I've read this. Anyways, I'm gonna actually get back to the B-roll of me starting this book. So I just finished chapter 5. The absolute lore drops that are in this chapter. Selena has magic and there's fairies. None of this was mentioned in the Assassin's Blade, and now we're just getting this. I'm like so curious what kind of magic she has, especially because it was too dangerous for any sane person to wield. Her gifts might have destroyed her by this point. What was her gifts? Like, certainly she wasn't a healer, because I feel like that wouldn't have destroyed her. We're really getting the fantasy part of this, right? My camera literally died in the middle of my sentence. But I was saying Cole, the captain of the guard or whatever, why do I kind of like him? Like, no one can replace Sam, okay? But I don't know, I kind of think there might be something there. I know there's gonna be something with Dorian, because they had this whole, like, it switched. Well, the point of view didn't switch, but it, like, focused on his thoughts more. And he had this whole moment where he was like watching her watch the stars or whatever, and he's like, but no, I can't think of her like that. Which tells me that there's gonna be like a little bit of an enemies to love. Oh. I glanced down at the back of the book and it says 2 men love her. So I think she's gonna have a love triangle, guys. So let it be known here and now that I think I might be rooting for Cole. There's nothing wrong with Dorian yet. I appreciate that he talks back to his father. That's cool. Who is like the king that threw Selena into the prison. Also, did I talk about what was going on in this book? Basically, Dorian, who is the prince of Adarlan, I don't know how to pronounce that, goes to basically pull Selena out of the salt mines and is like, hey, you can have your freedom if you win this competition to become the champion for my father, the king, and work for him for 4 or 5 years, then you can be free. And she's like, oh, bet, I'll do it. And so where I'm at, she just got to the castle. The competition is supposed to start the very next day, but I'm so worried about her because she's been in like the salt mines for a year. She's been starved, beaten. She hasn't had like been training, so she's really skinny. So I'm nervous, but didn't break down her wit or her banter. Like the way she's bantering with both Cole and Dorian, I'm kind of living for it. I was reading while I was waiting for my camera to charge, and then I went to go tab something and I was like, oh my gosh, the tab color I picked out is missing and I cannot find it anywhere. I'm kind of devastated because I thought it matched. It was like a light purple that matched so perfectly. I guess I do have this like darker purple color right here that matches just fine, but I liked the lighter purple better, and now it's gone. I don't know where it went. Kind of sad. Anyways, I got so demotivated by not being able to find the right color tab that I stopped reading. and it's been over half an hour, like 45 minutes, maybe almost an hour. But I'm back because I was like on my phone scrolling. I was like, oh, my camera's charged. I can finally finish what I was saying earlier, which was me basically just fangirling over Cole for no, I don't even know if that's how you pronounce his name, but that's how I'm pronouncing it. That's the thing about fantasies is I know I'm not pronouncing these names correctly, and I know that I could look it up, but I'm fearful of looking it up because then I'm like, oh my gosh, what if I get spoiled? So you're gonna have to stick with me pronouncing these names incorrectly. But yeah, I'm 56 pages in. Not me being an actual liar, because I read one more page and now I think I might like Dorian because he gave her a stack of books to read. Quickest way to a reader's heart is have your characters be readers too, because why is that so cute? Over 140 pages in. Wow. Chapter 20. The competition has started now, like officially. They already had one trial and Selena made it through, except one of the champions was murdered. He wasn't just murdered, he was like mutilated, which is ugh. But Cole, the captain or whatever, is trying to figure out who did it, but he's also training Selena, so him and Selena are getting kind of close. And then we have Nox, who's one of the competitors in this competition, and he's like a thief, but a pretty well-renowned one. Like Selena knew his name, like had heard his name before, and he's kind of sparking a friendship with Selena, and I don't know whether to be like suspicious of him or whether to think like he'll come up later in the books as like an ally, you know? And then there's this young assassin that she keeps mentioning who's like struggling a lot, like he almost failed the first test, which was like an archery test, and he claimed that his expertise was poison. So I'm curious, like, because it kind of singled him out a little bit, if he's gonna be an important plot line later. Kaltain, she is like a lady at court, and she wants Prince Dorian. She wants to be married to Prince Dorian, and she met Selena, but Selena's going under this like fake name as Lillian, and so Kaltain is trying to take out Selena because she thinks Selena and Dorian are like gonna get married, and she can't have that. So it's there's a lot of like different plot lines going on, but it was kind of cool because the last chapter I just read, so it's like in third person point of view, but it mostly follows Selena and her thoughts, and every once in a while it'll switch to a different character that it's kind of following. And it was kind of cool because we got a chapter that was just Dorian's, and then we got one from Kaltain's, and then Cole and Dorian. I don't know, I kind of like it. I kind of like getting to see those character slots more. I'm like really not nervous for Selena, because like it's honestly such a weird feeling when you have a main character that they're put in tough situations, but you know that they're gonna live because this is the first book and there's 7 more to go. Like you just know that she's gonna be fine for at least a little bit longer. So I'm not worried about her, but like I'm so worried just in general. Like I'm trying to piece together who's killing these champions. Well, one champion got himself killed, but who killed the other guy? So it's very curious. Like I'm very curious, but that's where I'm at. Okay, I just finished chapter 24. Really, is it only chapter 24? I guess I read 40 more pages since I last updated you. But there was this party and Selena wasn't invited. And both Cole and Dorian went to see her after the party, and they saw each other, and Cole got jealous and kicked Dorian out. Cole brought her a ring. They were handing out the rings to all the women at the party, and he took one and brought it for her because he knew that she was upset that she wasn't invited to the party. They're so cute. Why? Dude, this is not gonna end good though. Like, this is gonna end very badly because someone's gonna betray the other one. Like, I can't tell if it'll be Dorian or Cole, because I feel like Dorian, he's angsty. Like, he doesn't like his father or being part of nobility and stuff like that. He wants an adventure. I don't think he's adventurous enough to betray his father and help Selena later in the books. But Cole, on the other hand, like, he's captain of the guard. He grew up at the palace. Like, he's loyal to the king. So I find it hard for him to betray the king later in the books and help Selena. I'm assuming that's what happens. I could be totally wrong, but it makes me nervous. Also, I know earlier I said I was suspicious of Nox, but I don't think I am anymore because Selena literally went out of her way to save his life. So now I'm just hoping that he becomes like a more built up character and later in the books, because I kind of like his character. Also, I have this theory with like the whole, because now there's been 2 of the competitors murdered and mutilated like very brutally. So I'm curious if it's Kane the best out of all the competitors, or the like Duke Parrington or whatever his name is, the guy who sponsors Kane, because they both have that vibe to them that they would literally kill others in order to win. But then Kane like cleared off these marks in this courtyard. They're called like word marks, W-Y-R-D, weird marks. I don't know how to pronounce it, but the princess that Selena befriended said that it had to do with like a really old religion and kind of was like tense around the subject. So I think it has like some sort of dark magic type vibe, and maybe Kane is like using that dark magic to kill the competitors. I don't know, but that's my theory as of right now. Okay, I know the lighting from this angle isn't great, but I'm sparing you the chaos that's happening on the TV screen in front of me. I'm 270 pages in, so I only have like 130-ish more pages left. I'm so sad because like Selena and the princess became such good friends, and now I fear that the princess is gonna betray her, and I think Selena's catching on to that. And Selena thinks the princess is the one who's like killing all the champions or like the competitors in this competition, but I don't think it's her. I just think that the princess is gonna betray her in a different way. But it makes me so sad because this is like the second female friend we've seen Selena have, and if she betrays her too, it's just gonna be like, it's gonna be tough, okay? I said earlier my theory, it's that it's either the Duke or Kane that's killing the champions. Now I think it's both. I think there's some sort of like dark magic. There was a lore drop about some sort of a dark lord who a long time ago attacking the people of Adarlan, like the very first king and queen, and I think he's back. And I think he's back because the old queen, Elena, keeps coming back to Selena in dreams. And so I think that there's like a connection there. So the Duke and Kane have this like dark magic in them somehow. Like they're maybe possessed. I don't know. I think the Duke is like the main one, and then Kane's becoming his little, not like sidekick, but he tells Kane what to do. And I think Kane is turning into this beast, or like the beast that is killing all these competitors. Because Selena made a comment about how he keeps getting bigger and bigger each time she sees him. So that's just my theory right now. And then I think the princess is cooking up some sort of plot to get revenge on the king because he just had a bunch of his troops kill like 500 of her people. So that's what I think is going on. And my camera is dying, so I need to charge it. But that's my update. 130 pages left, and it's 9:30? 10. It's 10, so hopefully I can finish it before midnight. That would be nice, but I'm gonna finish this book tonight because it's getting to a point where I can't put it down. So I'm at 342 pages. I have like 60 pages left. Okay, first of all, I'm glad that Selena and the princess had that moment where they like connected again, because it was kind of sad that Selena's only friend, like she thought her only friend was gonna betray her. I'm glad she didn't. I'm glad that the princess actually saved her, but she did use those like word marks, the marking things, to heal her, which is interesting. So the princess has some sort of magic somehow. And then I knew it was Kane who was summoning, no, I thought it was the Duke turning Kane into a beast, but no, it's just straight up Kane summoning this like weird beast thing. And then he gets all that power, which is why he's getting bigger, which is just, I knew Kane was bad news, but I'm curious because both him and the Duke have like these rings that pulse or whatever. Like I don't know if they're working together or not, because the Duke is planning to get Selena killed by poisoning her through that Kaltain girl, which that poor girl, I don't know what's going on with her, but there's something fishy there too. Oh, and Dorian and Selena kissed. I feel so bad for Cole right now because he watched them dance for like hours at a ball. And she just like forgot about him. She forgot about Cole, and that hurt. But then when so basically Selena found Cain summoning the beast, and she thought she was gonna die, and she's like, I can't die here because no one will find my body and Cole will just think I disappeared. And then like she was talking about the princess and like how it would hurt the princess. And no point in that little paragraph did she mention Dorian, which I thought was interesting. I'm so glad that she told Knox to leave. Like, I'm glad she told Knox who she truly was and then told him to leave, because I really liked his character and I really hope we get to see him like later in the series. I think he'd be a really, really fun's not the right word, but a really good character to see. Oh my gosh, also, can we talk about how sad it is every time she thinks of Sam whenever she's talking to Dorian or Cole? Like when she kissed Dorian and she thought about kissing Sam. That hurt my heart. But I don't know, this is probably gonna be my last update, and then I'll talk to you again once I finish the book. I'm so sad. I was trying to record like my reaction to the ending and my phone died. I don't know if I got any of my reactions. I did finish the book though. I have so many questions. I have so many like, aha, I was right, but also what the heck? First of all, I knew that the Duke was controlling Cain. Like, even though Cain was the one who was summoning the beast, I figured that the Duke was the one controlling him to do that. But I didn't know that he was controlling Kaltain. That's crazy. Also, guys, I feel so stupid that I've been pronouncing all the names wrong this whole time. 2 videos now. The end of this book has like a little, a pronunciation guide. So instead of Selena, it's Selena. And instead of Cole, it's Kaol. I feel rather stupid, but at least I was pronouncing Arobyn's name right. So I'll take that. And Adarlan, I think I was pronouncing that right. Anyways, I also didn't know that he was in like, well, I kind of assumed the king knew about this like dark magic with the words, whatever. I didn't know him and the Duke were working like together though. That shocked me. Also, I love Cole so much. Like the way he tried to help her during the duel, like he reached his hand out to her and then he killed Cain for her. Dorian though, he kind of made me angry at the end. Like I get that he couldn't do anything to stop the duel. Like that's not what I'm angry about. After it all happened, Kaltain was forced to take like the blame for poisoning her. It goes, and if he ever found out that Parrington or his father had sanctioned it or somehow played a hand in Kaltain drugging her, Dorian, please, can you please not be this silly? Of course Parrington had a hand in it, and of course your father did. Also, I feel so bad that I assumed the princess was gonna betray Selena. I feel very, very bad about that, honestly, because she was so nice in the end and actually saved her life. Also, the fact that she like practices magic, even though the word marks aren't technically considered magic because it's a different type of power. The fact that she knows all about that stuff, crazy. Overall, very pleased with how this book ends. I'm kind of, is it bad that I'm glad that she ended things with Dorian for now? Especially because I feel like Kaol is a way better love interest for her. Like they just kind of get each other better. I think that's my overall thoughts on the events of the book. In terms of the writing and like the plot and stuff like that, I think the plot of this book was way more interesting than The Assassin's Blade, which I guess isn't really fair because The Assassin's Blade was technically novellas, but I really liked that we had this competition kind of pacing the plot very well. It felt very well paced and very, like, I just was never bored. I feel like the writing wasn't as good as The Assassin's Blade. Like, I feel like this writing wasn't as mature as The Assassin's Blade, and I don't know if that's just because this book came out obviously years before Assassin's Blade ever did. It was still really good writing, don't get me wrong. Like I love how fast paced she is and the way she describes everything. Like even though I can't see pictures in my head, it really helps me build some sort of like idea of what's happening. It is crazy how much of the events of The Assassin's Blade is mentioned in here. Like a lot of the stuff with Ansel betraying Selena and like the betrayal of Sam. I feel like it's kind of weird that Arobyn was only mentioned a handful of times, especially in terms of like her thinking about who betrayed her. She's like, I won't even go there, which is kind of a step up since the end of The Assassin's Blade where she was convinced Arobyn was gonna save her. So I'm kind of glad that she's kind of coming towards that realization. He was the one to betray her. Also, can we talk about the end where the ghost of Queen Elena came back and was like, Selena thanked her for saving her life. And Elena responded, blood ties can't be broken. Does that mean Celaena was part of like the royal family of Terrasen? Because I think so. I think she was. I think her parents, I think that was the queen and king of Terrasen. And I think she is actually of royal blood, which would be crazy. But that's my prediction. So yeah, I don't know. I really liked this book. I don't know what to rate it. Is it a 5 stars? It might be a 5 stars. Like I just really loved the characters in this book, even though Dorian kind of frustrated me with like his whole, he loves Celaena and then him not being able to like go against his father very much. But I don't know, that was just like it's a really hard romance to sell me on almost. Like I feel like her and Sam's romance it was much more well built, but her and Chaol's romance I have high hopes for going into the other books, even though I know the romance isn't the biggest part of this book. But I'm like a little romance reader at heart, so I just can't help but like think of these subplots between the characters. But I really, really like this. I'm curious to see how the princess will come into play later in the books. I don't know if I ever mentioned who she was, the princess of, I think it's Eyllwe. I think she will come into play a lot later in the books. I think Nox will come back in the later books. I'm so glad that I'm finally picking up this series because I was so afraid, just because like for me, fantasy is just really hard to wrap my mind around sometimes. But I feel like the world is just so well built in these books and we get introduced to things as they arise to a point where it's not confusing, but you're also not like overwhelmed with information, because I feel like it can be like that at some points. But I really liked the lore that we got behind Elena, like the first queen of Adarlan. I'm very excited to go into the next book. I'm curious like if each book from here on out will follow 1 year of her service as the king's champion, because she has to serve for 4 years, or if like something's gonna happen and some sort of war is gonna start up. But like how many books can we go through a whole war, you know? I don't know. I'm rambling a bunch. But yeah, I really, really enjoyed this book. I think I liked it better than Assassin's Blade. Actually, I know I did. And I honestly think this might be a 5 stars. Like, if not 5, then a 4.5. I need to sit on it because I did just finish the book. But I'm so glad that you guys are all here watching this. Thank you. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.